Nobody was listening. That was the worst part. Not the whispers, not the side conversations, not even the people scrolling on their phones. It was the indifference. The host announced his name, but the crowd barely reacted. Somebody near the bar laughed. Who? A few people walked toward the exit. It was 10:47 p.m. at the Forge, a downtown venue known for breaking local artists, or breaking their confidence. Colored lights flashed lazily over a half-engaged audience, and on stage stood a 23-year-old rapper with a mic in one hand and a USB drive in the other. No hype man, no crew, no major cosign, just a beat he had produced in his bedroom, and a story nobody in that room was ready to hear. Until he dropped it. His name was Kendrick Cairo Rowland. Not famous, not viral, just hungry. He'd been chasing open mic nights for 2 years, driving across the city after warehouse shifts, rapping for crowds that mostly came for the headliner. The Forge had finally given him a slot, but not prime time, not mid-show energy, the between-act slot, the one where people ordered drinks, checked messages, talked over performances. He didn't complain. Stage time was stage time. Backstage, another artist glanced at him. You closing? The guy asked. K-Row shook his head. Middle? The guy smirked. That's the graveyard. K-Row just nodded, because he knew something the other artist didn't. He wasn't here to warm up the crowd. He was here to wake them up. When his name was called, the energy didn't shift. No cheers. No anticipation. The DJ barely turned down the background playlist before his set. Make some noise for K-Row, the host said casually. Scatter claps. Half-hearted. Someone shouted, "Let's go, Jaden," calling for the headliner instead. K-Row walked out slowly. He scanned the room. Couples talking. Bartenders shaking drinks loudly. 3 people in the front scrolling. He could feel the dismissal. The assumption. Just another rapper. Just another guy with a mic. He leaned toward the DJ booth. Play track 3, he said. The DJ hesitated. Now, he asked. K-Row nodded. Now. The intro was minimal. Soft piano keys. Low ambient hum. It didn't demand attention. It invited it. But the crowd kept talking. Someone near the back laughed loudly at a joke unrelated to the stage. K-Row waited. Didn't rush his verse. Didn't shout over them. He just stood there, still, mic near his mouth, eyes steady. The piano loop continued, and something subtle happened. Curiosity. A few people looked up. Why wasn't he starting? Why wasn't he forcing it? Then, the bass hit. Hard. Clean. Unexpected. The beat didn't explode. It punched. And that's when he started rapping. His voice wasn't yelling. It was controlled, measured, confident. Y'all don't hear me. That's cool. I've been quiet before. Built my crown in the dark. I don't need an award. A few heads turned. They don't see you till the lights hit your face. But I learned how to shine in a low-lit place. The cadence was tight. Breath control flawless. The flow switched mid-bar, smooth, effortless. The bartender slowed her movements. One of the phone scrollers looked up fully. Because this wasn't noise. It was narrative. He wasn't begging for energy. He was building it. And when the hook dropped, the room shifted. The instrumental cut for a half a second, then came back heavier. 808 layered with strings. K-Row stepped forward. Talked over me. Now you lean in close. Same voice they ignored. Now they need that dose. Someone in the front row shouted, "Okay." Energy sparked. People stopped mid-conversation. I ain't loud for attention. I'm loud with a purpose. Drop one beat. Now the whole room nervous. The crowd reacted audibly because the lyrics weren't random. They were happening in real time. He wasn't dissing the audience. He was narrating them. And people recognized themselves in it. That's power. By the second verse, phones were up, not out of boredom. Out of awe, he sped up the flow, internal rhyme stacking over layered hi-hats. Breath steady. No backing track covering weak lines. Just him, every syllable landing. The DJ leaned back, impressed. The host whispered, "Yo." Near the bar, someone who had laughed earlier stood still, listening, because talent forces attention. You can ignore volume. You can't ignore skill. When the beat paused before the final hook, the crowd filled the silence. Run it back. He didn't. He delivered the last hook stronger, clearer, sharper. And when the final beat dropped out, the silence lasted 1 second. Then the room exploded. Backstage, the headliner Jaden Cross had been scrolling on his phone until he heard the crowd. He stepped near the curtain, watched Cairo finish his set, watched the energy, watched the reaction. That wasn't between acts energy anymore. That was main act electricity. When Cairo walked off stage, people reached toward him. Bro, what's your IG? That was fire. You got music out? The same crowd that ignored him 10 minutes earlier now surrounded him. Jaden approached. Where are you from? He asked. East Side, Cairo replied. Jaden nodded. You got another one? Cairo smiled slightly. Always. Jaden walked back on stage for his headline set, but before starting, he grabbed the mic. Y'all heard that last dude? The crowd cheered loudly. That wasn't no warm-up, Jaden said. That was pressure. The audience agreed. Jaden looked backstage. Bring him back out. Cairo froze for half a second, then walked back on stage. This time, the cheers were immediate. No hesitation. No indifference. Jaden handed him the mic. Drop something. No DJ cue. No rehearsal. Just raw talent. Cairo started a freestyle. Off the top, rapping about the night, about being overlooked, about flipping silence into sound. The crowd lost it, because this wasn't luck. It was readiness meeting opportunity. Clips of performance spread online within hours. Local blogs picked it up. Unknown rapper steals a show. The freestyle clip alone hit 2 million views in 3 days. Music pages reposted it. Not because of controversy, because of skill. Within weeks, Cairo was opening for bigger venues. Not as filler, as featured. But the biggest shift wasn't fame. It was confidence. Because he learned something that night. Sometimes a room won't listen until you give them no choice. Not by shouting, not by forcing, but by delivering something undeniable. Months later, he returned to Forge. This time, his name was printed larger on the flyer. And when the host announced him, the crowd didn't ignore him. They waited because they knew what was coming. The beat drop, the story, the shift. They talked over him, scrolled past him, walked around him. But when he dropped the beat, they leaned in because attention isn't given. It's earned. And sometimes the loudest moment in a room comes from the person nobody was listening to